Good afternoon, guys. I'm here with Melita from Dominion Finance. We're going to talk a little bit about the current market situation, lots of properties going to auction, and what that means for a buyer, and how do you get your finance in tip-top shape to go and bid in an auction. So off we go, Melita. Very hot market in all the areas at the moment.
Danny, it's insane down here at the moment. It's hard to keep up. But I'll be straight off the gate and I'll tell you that I love auctions. The reason I love auctions is not only for the seller but the buyer, because it's a quick process. It's only 4 weeks of open homes and inconvenience. The people bidding at the auction have their finance in place. They're ready to go because there's no cooling off. I love the whole auction process. Yeah.
So, and you love it for vendors and buyers alike.
I do, absolutely. I think it gets the results done. And the reason you have an auction, and people should not be afraid of auctions, is because it's a hot market. We don't know where the price is. You know, I can give an estimate to a client of what I think their property's worth, and then I could be 10, 20% out. So the best way to know what your property's worth is market research. An auction is market research because you put it to the market for 4 weeks, you ask the market what it's worth, and then you sell it on the day.
Excellent. That's really good advice. Now, how do you get your finance ready for auction? What do you have to do?
This is like the $1 million question, because volumes are so high at the banks at the moment. So if you're buying in an area where there is prevalence of auctions is the way to go, you've got to be organised, and that means 2 months of preparation before attending an auction. So it takes 6 to 8 weeks to get your finance in place. And a lot of people don't realise that even though they may have applied for finance, they may have applied for finance with a major bank who doesn't actually pick it up and assess it. They're actually a computer generated assessment. You need an assessment for finance that's a manual assessment, which means a person is going to pick up your file, look at your pay slips, look at your savings, look at your employment, and give an answer that's valid for 3 to 6 months for you to go and attend auctions, right? So part of that is being prepared, getting all your paperwork in order, and that might mean talking to a broker, working out things that in your situation might not be great for getting finance. So it might be a process of inputting a few things and improving a few things in order to get ready to apply for finance, which is going to take 6 to 8 weeks.
Such as pay down their credit cards and stuff like that.
Exactly. It could be cleaning up credit cards, cancelling zip pays, reducing limits. Could be staying with the same employer. You know, if you're about to have a baby or you're about to change jobs, that's not a great time to be applying for finance for an auction.
So no afterpays, people. Remember that. So what are the risks?
Well, an auction, there is zero cooling off. That's the whole point. An auction is not a private treaty. So an auction contract, you are locked in. So you have to be bulletproof. And the risks of buying at auction, you need to know, number one, that the product that you're going to go bid on, that your bank is happy with that product and that postcode and that price range, and that there's no weird policy that the bank has that they're going to spring on you later. Because when you're being assessed for a pre-approval for an auction, they don't know the postcode yet, they don't know the price yet, they just are assessing you as a risk for credit. So you need to have these conversations with either your broker or your bank to make sure that the location is acceptable to them, that what we call the LVR, which is your loan to value ratio, is acceptable to them. And it's also a good idea to use a broker in that area, such as, you know, I'm down here in the Snowies, because there's 3 valuers that do our area. I know these 3 guys really well, and I know their personalities, and I know that one's a bit more conservative than the others. And so I have these conversations with my clients for auctions, because we might need to choose the lender that's got the valuer that's going to make sure that we get the right valuation coming in after they've attended the auction. The other thing that can be a risk with an auction is that your finance was assessed months ago and something has changed in your circumstance. Another thing is the policies have changed. So even though you might have just got a pre-approval 4 weeks ago, always check, triple check with your broker that everything is still current and that there's been no changes and that your finance is still going to be fine on the day.
All right, so you've sorted out all your risk, you got your pre-approval. How do you bid confidently at auction?
Well, your confidence comes because you've done your due diligence. You've got your finance, you've got a really professional broker or lender who's on your team, you've got a good solicitor, you are familiar with the area, you're ready to get a building inspection done before attending the auction or a pest inspection done. But the main thing is, Danny, is that you've just got to accept that auctions are a way of life. You know, when the market's hot, I mean, if you're a seller, you want top dollar. And if you're going to get top dollar by putting it to the market without a price on it, then that's just the way it goes. So buyers have just got to not be afraid of that process and just get the confidence that this is how it is, suck it up, but also make sure that they have everything in place. But the good thing with an auction for the buyer is that they're locked in. They can't get gazumped. Nothing's going to go bad.
Exactly.
If they're on the day, it's a done deal.
Yeah.
So I love auctions.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good process too. So vendors and buyers alike, don't be afraid of auctions. They are here to stay in our area in this current market. So embrace it. If you need any help, call me at Henley Property or call Melita. Her company is Dominion Finance. But if you forgot about that, just ring me and said, I want to talk to Melita, and I definitely put you in touch with her.
Thanks, Danny.